What if the reason you're not where you want to be isn't lack of talent, lack of money, or lack of opportunity, but something far more dangerous? What if the real enemy has been inside you this whole time? Quiet, invisible, convincing you that you're smarter than you are, better than you are, more deserving than you are. That enemy is ego. In ego is the enemy. Ryan Holiday delivers a timeless message. The biggest obstacle to success, growth, happiness, and fulfillment is not external. It's internal. It's ego, the unhealthy belief in our own importance. It's the voice that exaggerates our abilities, ignores our weaknesses, and refuses to learn. This book is structured in 3 powerful phases of life: aspire, success, and failure. And in each phase, ego attacks us differently. Let's go deep. First, aspire. This is the stage when you're hungry. You want to build something. You want to prove yourself. You want to become successful. This stage is full of energy and ambition, but it's also where ego quietly plants its seeds. Ego makes you obsessed with image instead of improvement. Instead of learning the craft, you focus on being seen as talented. Instead of practicing in silence, you announce your goals to everyone. Instead of building skill, you build a reputation. Holiday explains that many people talk about becoming great more than they actually work on becoming great. Talking gives a temporary satisfaction. It makes you feel productive, but it's a trap. There's a powerful idea in the book, Talk Depletes Us. When you constantly share your goals, your brain feels rewarded, as if you've already achieved something. And that reduces the hunger to actually work. The truly great people, the masters, they stay quiet. They learn. They observe. They absorb. They act like students even when they are skilled. Holiday emphasizes the importance of being a student. Ego says, I already know. Humility says, I have more to learn. The moment you believe you've arrived, you stop growing. He also discusses the danger of passion. Society tells us to follow your passion. But passion is emotional. It can make you impatient and reactive. Passion wants results now. Passion gets frustrated easily. Instead, Holiday promotes purpose and discipline. Purpose is steady. It is long-term. It doesn't need constant excitement. It focuses on the mission, not the mood. Aspire teaches us this. Don't pretend to be important. Become important. Don't seek recognition. Seek mastery. Don't build a brand before building skill. Now we move to the second phase, success. This is where ego becomes even more dangerous. When you finally achieve something, money, influence, praise, power, ego grows. It whispers, you did this. You're special. You're different. And slowly, success changes you. You stop listening to feedback. You surround yourself with people who agree with you. You believe the rules don't apply to you. You think you can't fail. Holiday shares many historical examples of leaders, athletes, and entrepreneurs who rose to greatness but fell because of arrogance. They stopped doing the small things that made them successful. They became careless. They believed their own hype. Success requires humility more than ambition does. The book teaches that real success is about control. Not control over others, but control over yourself. Can you stay disciplined when no one is watching? Can you remain calm when criticized? Can you avoid reacting emotionally when praised? Ego feeds on praise. It needs validation. It wants applause. But the strongest people don't depend on external approval. They focus on the work itself. Holiday explains that greatness is built through process, not performance. When you fall in love with the process, practicing, improving, learning, success becomes sustainable. But if you fall in love with attention, success becomes fragile. There's also a powerful lesson about staying grounded. No matter how high you rise, remember that you are replaceable. Remember that you are human. Remember that luck plays a role. When you acknowledge this, you stay balanced. Then comes the final stage, failure. Failure is painful. It damages your confidence. It tests your identity. But ego makes failure worse. When we fail, ego refuses to accept responsibility. It blames circumstances. It blames other people. It protects our pride. But growth begins when ego ends. Holiday teaches that failure is feedback. It's information. It's training. If you remove pride, you can analyze mistakes clearly. You can improve faster. Ego also makes failure feel permanent. It convinces you that one loss defines you. But the truth is, failure is temporary unless you let ego stop you from trying again. The book shares examples of people who lost everything: careers, reputations, fortunes, but rebuilt themselves through humility. They accepted reality. They didn't deny it. They didn't complain. They adapted. Failure teaches resilience. It teaches patience. It teaches strength, but only if ego doesn't block the lesson. Throughout the book, Ryan Holiday draws heavily from Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed that we should focus only on what we can control: our thoughts, actions, and reactions. External things like fame, money, and praise are unstable. But character is stable, and character is built by defeating ego daily. This book is not about becoming weak or insecure. It's about becoming self-aware. It's about separating confidence from arrogance. It's about understanding that true strength is quiet. One of the deepest lessons in the book is this: always stay a student. When you aspire, learn. When you succeed, learn. When you fail, learn. Ego says, I deserve. Discipline says, I earn. Ego says, I am better. Humility says, I can improve. Ego says, this is unfair. Wisdom says, this is a lesson. The battle against ego never ends. It's daily. It's constant. It requires awareness. If you can silence ego, you unlock clarity. You build stronger relationships because you listen more. You grow faster because you accept criticism. You lead better because you don't let power corrupt you. You recover faster because you don't let pride stop you. At its core, ego is the enemy is a manual for inner discipline. It teaches that talent without humility is dangerous. Ambition without self-control is destructive. Success without character is temporary. The world doesn't defeat most people. They defeat themselves. So before you chase more money, more followers, more recognition, ask yourself, are you mastering your ego? Because if you don't control it, it will control you. And the scariest enemy is the one that lives inside your own mind. That is the powerful message of this book.